Welcome back, everybody, to the Board YouTube channel for today's pick and roll live stream here for March 31st, final day of March, and we're getting a new week started here with a pretty good NBA slate to work with. So, if you guys like what you see from today's show, please make sure you do hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more NBA content like this for the rest of the regular season and into the playoffs as well. We are going to go through the entire slate. We're going to hear the free picks from my co-host PipsNBA, and then we're going to hear from you guys from the chat for your Q&A and the reaction to your bets. Start off the show as always. It's a recap of the previous show's picks. Unfortunately, Friday was a 1-1 day. Easy winner on Tim Hardaway threes. Unfortunately, a loser on Karl-Anthony Towns. It was a bit of a tough week altogether. Put a dent on the winning season, but it still has been a winning season, and we're looking to finish strong. And we're going to go immediately into our first game of the day, which is the Los Angeles Clippers against the Orlando Magic, because Pips has a bet for this one. We'll pull up Pips to tell us what it is and walk us through it.
So our first bet is Franz Wagner under on 23.5 points. There are 24.5 playable out there, but we are going with under 23.5 as official bet, which is minus 113 for under. Also widely available on 23.5 from most books, but as I said, 24.5 minus 125 is better, but we are doing on the show official 23.5 because 24.5 is only on 3 books.
So get the 24.5 if you can. We're going to play 23.5 for the show, which is also fine at minus 113.
Yeah. So when we look at the last couple of games for France, he's under this line in 9 out of last 12, averaging 21.3 points. Those are games since March of 7th of March. Some tough matchups, some easy matchups. Didn't cover against the Kings, didn't cover against Dallas, didn't cover against the Wizards, didn't cover even against the Bulls. But couple of blowouts there. So when we exclude the blowouts and look at the last 10 games, only games with 30 plus minutes, he averages 21.4 and is under in 7 out of the 10 games. Anders came against Rockets, similar defense to the Clippers. Under came against the Wolves, similar defense to the Rockets, to the Clippers. Overs came against the Pelicans, worst defense in the league. Hornets, one of the worst defense in the league, and against the Lakers, also one of the worst defensive teams in the league. Then we'll go to the. We can see that France scores 70% of his points from the paint. So looking at the games when he played teams who are top 10 paint defense, because Clippers are 5th best, allowing 5th least points in the paint. We can see that he's under this line in 8 out of the 10 games. And when we exclude the team that's horrible defense against pick and roll ball handlers, he's under this line in 8 out of 9 games, averaging 19.6 points. Another game where we have another angle is the game against the Clippers earlier this season. He scored only 14 points in that game, even though Banchero was out. So without Banchero, he still didn't have any, they farmed him. Clippers have one of the best wing defenses in the league, so he was getting either Kawhi matchup or Derrick Jones and Chris Dunn matchup, which are very difficult for him. And they are helping on the nail on drives, and he's not a great shooter. So unless he makes 3 out of 4 threes, it will be tough for him to cover this line at 23.5.
All right. There's the first play of the day. Again, 23.5 minus 113 is the official play, but 23.5 minus 120 is available. And the preferred play here is 24.5 at minus 125 if you have access to that. And a lot of people will. So make sure you shop around for the best price on this one. Let's go now to our FanDuel odds screen here to take us through the rest of the NBA slate for today. We'll go top of the board here. A definite tank off between the Utah Jazz and the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte favored by 1.5 in this one, as both teams just looking to get through the rest of this season.
Yeah, this one is battle of G League squads.
Yeah.
I'm afraid we absolutely can do anything about this one. Uh, yeah, that's it. Just moving on. We have like guys like KJ Simpson playing, Daquan Jeffries.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This is rough.
Fair enough. Next up, not a tank battle. Two teams that have a vested interest in winning basketball games for different reasons. Sacramento looking to uh, get the best possible play-in tournament positioning, or at least stay in the play-in tournament. They're on the little bit of a bubble with the Mavericks and the Suns right now, currently occupying that 10th spot. The Pacers, on the other hand, have moved into fourth in the West. Fourth in the East, trying to keep the Pistons off of their back. So a bit of a big game here. Indiana 5.5-point favorites at home.
Yeah. Kings are absolutely horrible. Uh, they lost by 30 to Orlando Magic, which is horrible. They lost to the OKC, they lost to the Boston, they lost to the Bucks, they lost to the Bulls, double digits. Yeah, so they are on the way down. They change starting lineup almost every game. They don't know what to do. They're trying stuff, but I don't see anything working for them. Overall, on the game, I have nothing there. Like such an inconsistency on both sides, and especially on coverages, it changes game to game. I don't see it, so I'm deciding to stay away.
All right, before we go any further, a quick shout out to our presenting sponsor on the channel, made the show possible this season. That is the FanDuel Sportsbook. And there's still opportunities to get involved with FanDuel for the NBA and the rest of the NBA season, because when the game tips off, the action is just beginning with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because after all, it is your home for NBA live betting. So if you want to join a game late, or perhaps want to look for an edge during the game, you can bet from the first whistle until the final buzzer. And you can even combine these live bets into a same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. But whoever you want to bet, whether it's betting in the morning like this, whether it's betting pre-game, whether it's betting during the game, it's the perfect time to join all the time, because new FanDuel customers get started with $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/board to join today. That's FanDuel.com/board for your shot at $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. But must be 21 plus and present in select states, or candidates in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only, $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-79-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. We'll keep things moving here. We'll skip a little bit, though. We're going to head over to the Boston Celtics game against the Memphis Grizzlies. Boston, 5-point favorites away from home in this one. And Pips, there's a couple things you are looking at here.
Yeah. First off, we are going to bet Zach Edey over 7.5 rebounds. Just a coaching change. We didn't comment that on the show, but the coaching change happened, and the new coach decided to play Zach Edey big minutes, even against a small lineup of Lakers. Edey ended up playing 27 minutes, which is close to the season high. He had 11 rebounds, and when he plays between 22 and 29, he averaged 9.7 rebounds a game, and is over in 80% of the games. And the matchup is the average. They allow 13th most rebounds and 14th most to bigs. So average matchup should be a huge minutes increase, and in those minutes he should be able to cover. This is just a number play. When he gets 22 or more minutes, over in 80% of the games. So almost every under came in with right on the line 7, but like 7 on 19 rebounding chances, 7 on 20 rebounding chances, 6 on 6, like very low conversion rate was the main reason for this. And on the season, like we can see, he averaged like 9.7 rebounds on 16 rebounding chances. So he's like converting on like 65 rebounding chances throughout the season. So these games when he didn't cover were actually outliers. Yep.
So that's the first play from this game. We're going to get it 8+ rebounds for -106 odds at FanDuel, our presenting sponsor here. But second bet, you have something else for this game.
Yep. So I'll first like say something about it. It's Drew Holiday on threes. I waited the entire season for this matchup because last time he played the Memphis, they were ignoring him. He had season career high 17 attempts from three, and now they have changing coaching. But I do think like they probably do a similar approach because it makes the most sense, and there is like huge chance for laddering this play, and this will be like not an official ladder because we don't track it, but I strongly advise this to be a ladder bet because the last time he shot 4 from 17 on threes. He couldn't make a bucket and he still ended up scoring 4, and he is I think like plus 650 to score 4 and plus 250 to score 3. So I think this is one of the best spots to ladder, but because if they ignore him again, like 1.5 is hitting like 95% of the time, and 4 plus is hitting like 50% of the time. If they decide like to ignore him again, and we are getting unbelievable prices for this, so I don't know even if we can structure somehow this for the show to tell I don't know how to do it. Like maybe
So maybe 2
point
plus 3.
75 0.75 units on 2 plus and 0.25 on 3 plus and 0.1 unit on 3 plus, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
3
So,
plus 4 plus, yeah.
okay. So 0.5 units. So half a unit on 2 plus 3s
No,
for
that's 0.75 on
points.
2
Sorry.
plus.
On 2 plus 3s, which is -122 at our presenting sponsor, FanDuel. You want to go quarter unit on 3 plus 3s, which is at 455. Or sorry, 255. Excuse me, 255. Once again, at FanDuel, all these at FanDuel. And then you want 0.1 units on 4 plus 3s, and that is plus, let me see, plus 680 at FanDuel. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's do it like that. So
Yeah.
it's not
Makes sense.
It's not huge, but yeah, this is one of the ladders of the show. So yeah.
That's the first for the show. We've never done a ladder, but
Yeah.
here we go today. All right.
Honestly, I waited the entire season for this spot, and
I believe you.
yeah. Even I think even 5 plus at 1500 there is some value. We won't do it in a show ladder, but guys, feel free to ladder even there, because
Okay.
if he gets like 10, 12 threes, yeah, there is a huge chance for hitting.
All right. I like it.
Yep. So that's our third official bet for
Third,
the show.
fourth, and fifth official bet for the show, I suppose. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, I've seen I think I've seen videos of Holiday getting left open like this. So I guess yeah, it does make sense. Do you have any fear they change that up with different coaching involved, or
That
it's the same?
If the coaching was the same, we will do probably 1 unit on 2 plus 3s, 0.5 on 3 plus, and 0.25 on 4 plus. I will do it for sure. This way, I am just like being like a bit conservative. But as I said, if the coaching didn't change, I will be like 100% sure this is one of the best bets of the season. But with no coaching, there is always a chance they adjust to something else. But even then, this has a good chance of hitting because I'll show you. Let me just go to Drew Holiday threes. When he is playing like between 26-36 minutes, he's out. He's still covering this more often than not. And the matchup is like most of his threes come up from above the break. They're allowed third most. They are also fifth worst against transition, seventh worst against spot up, and similar players to him are scoring a ton of threes. So we can see that similar players to Drew Holiday clear their lines in 10 out of 15 games against the Memphis. So makes sense even without this possibility of him being left wide open. And
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
So we
if
got
there is a
one.
if there is like only like 20% chance it happens, this is a huge value spot. But I think there is like more than 50% chance they repeat this again.
So we have 1.1 units of exposure here on Drew Holiday for his threes. All right. That's our third. Our second. Our third
Third,
official play plus, the extra bets in the middle. So third, fourth, and
yeah.
fifth, I guess,
The,
in a way.
the last handicap of the bet is Memphis won that game, and then I think they shouldn't be looking to change anything. Yep.
All right. Sounds good. Here are all the plays for today. Scrolling on the bottom as we go into the next game up. We're going to go to the Miami Heat game against the Washington Wizards. Miami have had their struggles lately, but have won 4 games in a row now. I think they lost 9 of 11, or they even lost 9 of 10. And then since then, they've won 4 games in a row. That includes an impressive win over the Warriors, pretty impressive win over the Hawks as well. A couple easy ones against the Hornets and the Sixers, and it should be an easy one here today against the Wizards.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Definitely, the lineup for Wizards is Poole, Carrington, A.G. Johnson, Champagny, Sar, Colby Jones, Jalen Martin, and Tristan Vukcevic.
There's
That's
worse lineups, but that's
yeah. If you, I don't know, maybe Hornets.
Philly's
I
lineup
don't
is
know.
honestly worse than that.
Yeah,
Philly
yeah.
was
With
Walker,
Jordan Poole.
Butler, Edwards, Council, and Bona yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. That's probably one of the worst lineups you ever seen. Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. They'll shut down Poole soon, probably, so they will compete for the worst lineup. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think, yeah. Uh, it should be an easy win, and I don't want to bet anything for this game. Blowout wouldn't surprise me. Close game wouldn't surprise me. It's Miami, so no reads. Moving on.
Well, the Bulls are 7-3 in their last 10. They've been rolling, but they're still 15-point underdogs in OKC. Can you see Chicago at all competing in this one?
Nope. They've been playing really good lately, but Huerta is out, I think, and this matchup is just not good for them at all.
Yep.
I could see some reasons of winning the last couple of games, but this one obviously just sucks.
Well, what do we think about our next team here? Dallas -9 against Brooklyn. Obviously, Brooklyn are tanking. Dallas all of a sudden 9th in the Western Conference. Very tight with the Kings and Suns, as I mentioned earlier. Yeah, do you think they have enough juice to get into the play-in tournament and keep themselves in a playoff spot? I mean, the Suns look like they're finished after yesterday.
Yeah, my Rockets ended up killing them, murder on
And
the.
then and
Yeah,
KD picked up an injury as well.
yeah, they should be done. Dallas definitely has a good spot to remain in the plane.
Yep.
I would say like Lively and Gafford are coming back. AD is healthy now, even though he played terrible. Kelly Martin is healthy, so they have kind of deep like starting unit is not great. It's Dinwiddie, Clay, that's very poor backcourt. But then PJ Washington and AD are good players. K Jones at 5 probably won't be there. Probably now like won't even play. I think it's Gafford and Lively. So it's PJ Washington, AD, and Gafford Lively front court. That's really good. And then off the bench, Najee Marshall, Max Christie, one of the Gafford Lively, and Kelly Martin. That's a good bench unit. So if they improve their defense, they could definitely compete.
And I mean, they've been great with AD 4-0 with Anthony Davis playing. So I don't think
Yeah.
they'll do anything in the playoffs, but they might get there at the very least. We're
Yeah.
all good.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
we'll
hearing
move
some
to
weird noise, so I was just trying to
last game. Then we got quite a few comments in the chat to go through. Rockets plus 4.5 away at the Lakers. Lakers, the 4 seed currently, 3.5 games back of the Rockets, who I suspect, given their schedule, will be the Western Conference 2 seed, which fantastic achievement for this team. On this game in particular, 4.5. Does that feel like the right price for this game for you?
Nope, we should cover this. Yeah, we are on back to back, but we played like 2.5 quarters last night. Like we won by 40
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So like best scenario to be in the back to back is without 4 quarter minutes. So I think we are good here. I don't know. I think Eason is back as well, which definitely helps for defending LeBron and Luca. Uh, Huge boost there. Amen Thompson is questionable, but I think if he's playing and we have Amen, Dylan Brooks, Tari Eason to defend LeBron James, Luka Doncic, I think we are in a good spot. Uh, Jackson Hayes can do shit about defending Shingun. Yeah, this is no way. Vanderbilt Jared could be a better one for defending Shingun, but they'll collapse. Their defense is horrible, and we've seen them doing great against Denver in that game. But team with Luka Doncic, Reeves, LeBron James, Hachimura, and Jackson Hayes is not defending shit into this league. Like this is not a single like positive defensive players. I would say Jackson Hayes is fine. Everyone else is not so fine. So good luck defending Shengun. That's how I see it. If they played similar defense to the like they do to the Jokic, I think Houston are in the better spot than Denver because sometimes Houston don't even go to the Shengun and they win games. So definitely think we are in a good spot here.
Okay. So nothing betting wise for this game, but a definite strong
No.
lean towards the Rockets on the spread at 4.5 here. We'll move on to the chat here. We've got quite a few questions here to go through today. First of all, this one came in early from Jelko on this game. Ask about Doncic over 28.5 points at -111, saying Doncic was using as always over in points. Is there a trend for Doncic against the Rockets?
Yeah, Houston allows most points to the pick and roll ball handlers in isolation because we do single coverage. We love to get guys like Luca don't pass and just try to isolation score against Amen, Brooks, and Eason. Like I don't think that can be very efficient scoring game when you are constantly going against top tier defensive players. Uh, I actually that's my preferred way of defending in the NBA. Like put your great defensive players on opposing best players and just don't help.
Yeah.
If Luka cooks against the best opposing players, okay. Like best defensive player opposing players, okay. Like if no one else gets any easy wide open corner threes or lobs to the rim, we are good.
And that guy then has to work really hard for the entire game.
Yeah, and we've seen that like Houston gave up so many points to opposing best players, and we just win game. We just win games. Like we let Edwards score 37 and 41, and Maxi sometimes like had like 40, and I don't know. Like I need to check some draw other name numbers. I'll just go to the Reeves. Like yeah, we gave Beal 25 in that game. We lately like look at this guards are always going over against Houston Rockets. Jamal Murray 39, like opposing pull-up stars are always going over. Not always, but most of the time going over against Houston. But we just keep winning games, so it definitely works well.
Okay, we'll keep moving here. Next question. Anthony Davis under 13.5. This is rebounds plus assists at -125. That's from Strange Music. Also ask about John Morant over 31.5 points in assist at -108.
I can definitely see why is this for AD. because he's not playing the 5, and with Lively and Gaffer back, I can see that. Let me just find the game. Yeah, he played against the Nets a couple of days ago, and he had 3 assists in that game and only 6 rebounds, only 8 rebounding chances. So he ended up with 9, even though he had only 14 chances rebounds and rebounding and assists. So if you take a look, last 3 games for AD, he had 9, 9, and 12 rebounds and assists combined. Last game against the Bulls, he had 5 assists on 1 potential assist, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, matchup wise, this is a like below average matchup for rebounds and assists. So everything makes sense for this to be a good under 113.5.
Okay, and John Morant over 31.5 points plus assists, -108.
Let me just check something for AD. Okay, yeah, I think that's a bit of a reach for me. Let me just find the game. Yep, Jamorant. I don't know why would you do assist against Boston. Makes no sense to me. They don't allow assists. They are, I don't know. The last time they played, he had 9 assists. Uh, but they don't allow assists. So there is that. They allow third least assist and fifth least to guards. When he is not playing teams who allow assist, he is not covering this. He averaged only 5.9. So I don't think this is a good bet for assist. Points wise, some of these games were without Jalen Jackson Jr. Most of these games actually were without Jalen Jackson Jr. So when we look on the season, when he's playing with both Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bain. He will also be on probably some minute restriction. 31 minutes against the Lakers, first game back. So then we look at this 28 to 34 minutes with Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bain. He is under this line in most of the games, average only 21.4 points. Yeah. Last time he played against Boston, he had insane games, but he scored 4 from 6 from 3. And yeah, I don't think that. I don't have any opinion on that one.
Okay, next up, let's go to Neesmith over 12.5 points at -125.
I do think he will have. He'll be in a good spot for this one, but the minutes were weird for him. Is Nemhard out? Maturin is out. Yeah, Maturin is out. So then maybe he gets to play like 28 minutes. So in the last since February with 24 plus minutes, he is kind of over this line. It's 77% of the games, averaging 16 points. Makes sense. The matchup is absolutely perfect. They allow second most in his most dominant zone. They allow the most spot up. So they also allow a ton of two wings. Think could be a good bet.
Okay, there's that. We'll go next to Isaiah Collier over 9.5 rebounds plus assists at -125.
I would love if Sexton is out for this, but then I think this is a smash spot. But when he gets 26 plus minutes without Clarkson, Lowry, and Collins, and with Kejonte George, which is huge, he averaged 10.9, and the matchup is kind of average, maybe a bit above average. So, yeah, some of these games, Houston and Boston were tough matchups, but the Pistons definitely a tough matchup. Could see it. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. 4 more to go through. We'll go to the Miami game. Turquoise wants Khalil Ware over 12.5 points, -125.
Yeah, I get the matchup is absolutely great. I don't know if he gets some minutes in a blowout, then potentially this could be good. But other than that, I don't know. How he did last time they played earlier this season. played 2 minutes against the the
Well, his minutes
yeah.
have changed.
Yeah, definitely. Like last 10 games, he's been actually really good. He went to the bench and then kind of they returned back to playing him, and then he performed well. So last, I don't know how is this, how many this is last 6 games. He covered this in 5 out of 6, averaging 14.7. And some matchups are difficult, like Golden State, Houston, Pistons. So, but yeah, I think it's okay. No, nothing great because I expect a blowout.
Okay, we got 2 in the Bulls Thunder game. Gabriel wants Hartenstein over 13.5 rebounds plus assists at minus 116, but also likes the 4 plus assists at plus 125. So
Uh,
assists for Hartenstein.
it's Holmgren is out, I think. Or is he like questionable?
I
Let me
believe he's
just
questionable. I'll double check.
yeah. Let me just see. Trying to find that game. Question. Both are questionable. I think last game that Hartenstein went out with injury, didn't return. So I don't know if I want to bet a guy that was injured last game.
Right.
And also, obviously, this win rate is absolutely insane. Like when he gets the minutes, but I think it's heavily dependent on. It's a blowout,
Yeah, there's blowout chance today.
and Holgram could play, and Hartenstein could be limited. So 3 factors that could go against us here. So yeah, I won't do it.
Okay. Next from this game, Josh Giddey under 19.5 points.
19 and a half are out there. If I had 19, I will bet the under.
Yeah, this one I
Definitely.
saw at 18 and at 19.
Yeah, I definitely will bet under on 19 and a half for this one.
Okay. And the last one of the day, Sabonis over 12.5 rebounds at minus 120. Apparently at 21 last time he played against his former team, the Pacers.
Yep. I don't think it's like former team, like that's probably irrelevant. But
Just making
yeah,
conversation, not suggesting that's why he gets him.
Since a return from the injury, he rebounded okay. Difficult rebounding matchups. Orlando, 13 rebounds in a blowout, 19 against Klingon, then 12 in a against Thunder. That's a matchup where he was supposed to rebound better, and then 17 against the Boston Celtics in 32 minutes in a blowout. So definitely could see the lean on the over. Matchup is good for rebounding. Claxton, Vucevic cleared. Collins cleared. Look at just by his position. Yeah. So overall, lean on the over.
All right. Lean towards the over there in agreement. That is the last one we'll go through for today. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to another great show here on the Board YouTube channel presented by FanDuel. We have 3 picks in play, if you will, 3 official picks in play. If you're trailing, hit the like button. And if you enjoyed the show, subscribe for more shows like this throughout the rest of the regular season and through postseason with extra content there as well. Here are those official plays for today. So standard for the first 2 plays. It's first of all Franz Wagner under 23.5 points, which we played at minus 113. However, there was 24.5 available at minus 125, which would have been preferred at the time if you have access to that. Second of all, it was Zach Edey, 8+ rebounds. We played at minus 106 at FanDuel. And it gets a little bit trickier for the third play here. We're going to go 0.75 units on Drew Holiday, 2+ threes. We played it at minus 122, and we're going to ladder this one. We have a quarter unit, 3+ threes at plus 255, and a 0.1 unit, 4+ threes at plus 680. So those are the plays for today. And a big way to end it off, Sean Glenn sends in the super chat for the stream. Thank you so much, Sean Glenn, for the extra support to the channel. Very, very much appreciated. Great week ahead. Let's go. Let's get it started off on the right foot here today. We'll be back tomorrow to recap how it went and for tomorrow's slate on Pick and Roll presented by FanDuel.